And I struck. That was just a weird hit. All right, we got something. We definitely got something.
Hey everyone, welcome back to JR Pro Shop Vids. Now I'm really excited today. We got the brand new Teal Rhino Pro from Brunswick. So the Teal Rhino Pro here is the latest addition to the vintage series from Brunswick. A few of the balls that have been in this line in the past, balls like the Danger Zone, the Inferno, and previously there's actually the Gold Rhino as well. Let's talk more about the Teal Rhino Pro. It features the vintage light bulb core, and wrapped around it is the Activator Plus 3.0 cover stock. Now, unlike a lot of balls that are in the line right now, this is actually a two-piece ball. So we're talking just core and thick shell cover stock. So in a two-piece ball like this, you're typically gonna see a little higher RG and usually lower differential. So that's gonna help the ball get down the lane and create more of a smooth ball motion. So today we got Brandon back on the lanes. He's gonna compare the new Teal Rhino Pro against a couple of his favorite solids that are in his bag right now. First, to my left, one of my favorite balls, maybe the ball of the year, the NV Tour from Hammer. Another kind of lower differential ball. What makes these two different, we got a symmetric ball and an asymmetric ball. So it'd be interesting to see how these two play off each other. And then to my right here, we have the Knockout Bruiser from Brunswick. A little different construction, a little higher differential, lower RG. So we should see a little bit more overall hook, and especially down lane, we should see a little bit more back end motion. So we actually have dual patterns today. On the right lane, Brandon's gonna bowl on Deadman's Curve. It's a 43-foot pattern with a little extra volume. So we're gonna see which ball here looks the best. And he's also gonna bowl on 38-foot Taj Mahal. It's a little shorter pattern, a little bit flatter as well. So these lower differential balls might look a little better than something like a Knockout Bruiser that has a little bit more hook potential. My expectations, I think on that longer pattern, I think the stronger balls are gonna look a little bit better. So balls like the NV Tour being asymmetric with a little stronger cover stock, but also the Knockout Bruiser, a little bigger core, a little bigger engine. It's gonna be able to get around the corner a little bit easier. And on that shorter pattern on Taj Mahal, I think the Rhino here is probably gonna look the best. Stronger cover with a little weaker core. Typically on patterns like that, they can be a little more sensitive and you want balls that roll a bit smoother. I think this is gonna fit the bill. All right, that's enough in here. Let's send it out to Brandon on the lanes.
Brandon out of summer retirement with a brand new Teal Rhino Pro. We're on 43-foot Deadman's Curve, fresh right now. Let's go see what this ball does. Threw a couple balls in practice and playing out didn't look very good. So we'll start a little further inside, just right of that third arrow. All right, that's not bad. I was a little firm with that. Ball still hit okay. I've had this ball for a little while, maybe put 10, 15 games on it. The baby swing or even staying straight, it's looked really, really good at this ball. Let's try that again here. It's just that like slow, steady control type ball. Same alignment here. Let's see if I can execute another good one. That's a little wide. There's not that much forgiveness right at target. That's just a bad shot on my part. All right, let's not get this one quite as far right. Let's tighten the angles up a pinch. A little soft. That wasn't too bad. I thought I got that a little softer and right at target. 2 wrongs makes it right. Close though. Get up. This might not be the right ball right now. Let's try something else. Let's try the NV Tour. All right, my favorite low diff ball right now is the NV Tour. Just awesome ball, probably my vote for the ball of the year. Let's try the same alignment and see if I can hit the pocket. It's a good shot. That was such a weird hit, but it was a good shot. I like that shape. That ball finishes down lane and I can give it a little more speed from inside. I think I'd rather the Teal Rhino playing a little straighter, but let's strike with this ball first and make a decision. It's close. I like that a lot. At least on this condition at 43 feet, a little more pop down lane is helpful. The NV Tour looks just right. I really, really like that ball. But we're here to review the Teal Rhino Pro, so let's move a couple boards right and see if I can match that shape. 2 and 1 right, just a little adjustment. That's gonna be close. That was actually a little quick off the back end, but definitely looks better going straight. I like that angle to me, and that ball seems to just roll the right way. I kind of like this alignment. Let me get the ball just another board right off my target, and we should be good to go. Close. Not quite, but still pretty close, and I think that this is a very safe way to hit the pocket. Not as good as NV2 on this particular condition, but maybe on something shorter, it'd look even better. I've got another ball that I want to try, the Knockout Bruiser. Reviewed it just a little while ago. I think that's gonna look okay on this. Same price point, a little more pop down lane. Put a fair number of games into the Knockout Bruiser. There's a little bit of lane shine on it, but I really like this ball, especially as the lanes break down. It's a ball I like to throw a little bit away from the head pin and really hits the dry boards hard. Same alignment here. Not my best shot, but that ball went way further down the lane, saved way more energy and popped off the back end. Let's hit my target and actually get a good shot here and see what happens. A little inside again. That held nicely. Yeah, that little bit of extra length is really helpful on the longer type patterns. Probably won't be as good on the short that we bowl on later, but hey, this looks fine now. One more strike, we'll try something else. That's close. That's probably the best look I've had with this ball going straight. It's usually something I use later on mediums, or I want to wing it out to the right and see some back end. All right, so we've seen it happen on Deadman's curve with a few extra units. We're up to Taj Mahal on lane 27, 38 feet, a little bit flatter yet. Yeah, a little bit more back end. Let's see how this goes. I think it's gonna suit the Rhino Pro a lot better than this. Question time with Brando. Now that old is the new, do you care if when balls are re-released, if they use the same cores and try to stay true to the same ball reaction? This ball reminds me a lot of the Brunswick Phantom, the remake of the Phantom, which was nothing like the original, which is a urethane. Does that matter to you? Or do you just care what it looks like and what the logo is, and let me know. 38 feet Taj Mahal, same alignment. Let's just see how different it is picking the same targets. This is probably gonna miss the head pin left. And holy back end on 38 feet, especially here at Lucky 9 when they're always screaming. Let's trust that ball way further right. That ball may have hit the pocket on 28. That was crazy. Maybe not the greatest pitch, but yeah, that was nuts. Okay, same alignment, eyes dead right. So wing this out to the right a bit. That looks pretty good. Maybe this should be a Knockout Bruiser video. I really like that ball. I've had a lot of success with it. It just crushed him on 45 feet when I filmed last time. I love this ball. Actually shaped really good. Let's see if it's repeatable though. That's definitely a little bit sharp. Let's try a ball with a little bit less back end. Let's go to that Rhino Pro. I never had the Teal Rhino Pro. I had the purple Rhino Pro. I think I was like 11 or something that ball, when I had that ball anyway. All right, same alignment. Let's wing this ball out to the right and see if it's a little less jumpy. Terrible. And I struck. That ball was awful. I thought that was 3 off my hand. All right, we got something. We definitely got something. It actually didn't jump too much considering I kind of stood up and got around it. I think the only thing I did right was stay behind the foul line. Let's throw a better one here and stay down. Closer. Wow, I hooked a lot on the back end. There's just so much back end on this pair. I wish I had urethane. This would be attitude control time. Let's trust this one a bit more with some more speed. I'll attest like the only person on earth that does not like a purple hammer and thinks the attitude control is 10 times the ball. Okay, a little more speed. Probably still not the right ball right now. I gotta hit the ball going way further right. It's hard on 38 feet because that ball's getting to 6. Like it's definitely getting there. It's just peeling too much when it does get to that spot. I'll move 3 left. Okay, that's a crazy angle, but it looked pretty good. Maybe gonna be a little hard to control from there, but at least it held off. 38 feet with reactive on fresh for me, not easy, not easy. Slow. I was deep enough that it got down the lane. I thought that was a little bit soft off my hand. Went to the pins great. Let's throw one more strike with this, then see what the NV Tour does on this pattern and see what kind of control I get out of the asymmetry, of the asymmetrical. Then I guess we're back to the shop. Yeah, that was okay. Just stood in the right spot, I guess. That's right. All right, now I'm just flinging it right, but I hit the pocket, good enough. Let's try the NV Tour from that spot. I think I would have carried by getting it that far right. I think that ball would have just that little bit more engine to get me there. Let's give it a shot. Wheeling the lane on 38 feet. Wheeling, no pins on 38 feet. And that was 3 too many to the right. I can say that the NV Tour is a little cleaner than the Rhino Pro. I think I would have hit pins with the Rhino Pro in that one. That's close. No. I thought that was gonna hit the pocket. That ball went further down the lane than I expected. Maybe I gotta move right with this. Maybe, yeah, that little extra length is getting the ball far enough down lane, it's not reacting on that. I'll move right, catch it dry a little sooner. I guess this is why we do reviews and this is why we practice, and that would have cost me a lot of bracket money in a tournament. That's close too. Messenger. All right, that was the right move. Got the ball to the right faster, saw the dry sooner, picked up a little more, and actually that wasn't too sharp through the pins. Soft. Still good. Yeah, that extra bit of length is definitely what I need on this lane, on this pattern right now. It's still not that jumpy. Teal Rhino, maybe just a little bit too much ball here. Okay, let's go back to that spot I was striking from. A little bit further left. Maybe we just had to throw a few balls and carry some oil down. One more. I'm not done yet. Having to throw the ball dead right and having no hold, to me, is the worst looking bowling. Having zero forgiveness left, zero forgiveness in terms of speed, that to me is trouble. And now we got the nuts. It's amazing. 10 minutes later, like, I could strike, and strike convincingly. Right lane pattern, right ball. Yeah, yep. How can I go to the shop after that? Come on, one more shot. If that would have carried, I would have been halfway there. For a ball that's like fairly rolly and slow, like, pins are mixing pretty good. Like, they're definitely bouncing around that way. I usually see that kind of action off the balls that are like flippier. So that's always a nice little bonus. Hook a lot. 9 pin. We're going to the shop anyway. I had enough. Back from the lanes, this bowled on 43-foot Deadman's Curve and 38-foot Taj Mahal. Both sport compliant and probably both full of editing on this video. They were not easy tonight. I threw the Teal Rhino Pro, which is definitely probably the smoothest in terms of shape, least angular down lane, and probably the earliest rolling. I was able to find the pocket okay, especially on the Taj Mahal once it broke down, but you know, on the 43-foot pattern, this ball really didn't hit the corner hard enough and go through the pins the right way. A ball with a little bit of a weaker cover and a little more core like the Knockout Bruiser just seemed to fit the bill, and that ball was striking. NV Tour looked pretty good as well, but it dug into the lane a little earlier. That earlier roll wasn't quite as ideal on that longer pattern, but it looked totally fine. On the 38-foot pattern, honestly, for the first 5 minutes, nothing looked good. There was so much back end. It was really hard to control my angles. Teal Rhino Pro was the smoothest and easiest to control. I was able to get my feet a little bit further left than I'd expected and fed the ball a little further right than I expected, but hey, I was striking and I threw some pretty convincing strikes on that pattern. Knockout Bruiser was way too sharp and angular. That was not the correct ball on that pattern. It's also good to find these things out and try them out in practice. NV Tour surprisingly looked great too. I thought it would be a little bit longer and sharper than the Teal Rhino Pro. That's true. It also allowed me to square my angles up a little bit more, stand a little further to the right. That looked really good. It's one of my favorite balls for that reason, and I really have a lot of trust in it. Overall, in terms of shape though, like the Teal Rhino is definitely early rolling, a little more tumbly and like more forward rolling. Kind of reminds me of the Brunswick Vintage Phantom remake. A lot like that actually, and just gives me that that step up from urethane, but not nearly as angular as most other balls in my bag. So definitely something more for control, more for staying a little straight with my angles. Maybe when I'm trying to get the ball a little further right on the lane, it's a ball that's gonna control that shape and just be tumbly and do the right thing through the pins on those types of patterns. In terms of balls that this compares to in my arsenal over the last couple of years, it fits somewhere between my Obsession Tour Solid, the burgundy one, that ball was mint, and the Track Heat, the purple one from about 2-3 years ago. Somewhere in the middle there, just that really smooth, controllable, good for those medium type patterns, even some of the shorter patterns. Just a ball I want to keep my angles usually a little more parallel and in front of me. The lanes didn't want that, so that's not what I did, but more often than not, that's the angles I want out of this ball. When I want to go straight up the track, maybe like on a house pattern or something, this comes into play. It's definitely a ball for guys that want to try to play the lanes a little further outside. For guys on our channel that you watch, I think Barker would love this ball. As a lefty that loves to play in the dry up the 5 board, I think he'd absolutely crush him with this. I don't think this is the ball for somebody like Jimu or Goots who like to get in and really fling the ball out to the right. I think they want something that's gonna just have a bit of a different shape and maybe a little more down lane reaction. I think that would just suit their eye a little bit better. But Simu, Barker, even myself, guys that like to go a little bit straighter and keep the speed up, this is a really good option. One thing I really like about this ball is Brunswick stayed true to what the original Rhino Pro Teal was. It's an early rolling ball, not a huge core, and Brunswick stuck with that same formula. They didn't just take the name and the logo and the color and pop it on a totally different ball and just sell because of the name value. They provided a similar reaction to what was out there 30 years ago. I didn't have the original, I had the purple Rhino Pro. Kind of reminded me of that, but I was still a kid back then. But it definitely gave me some good feels and it rolled like a Rhino to me. I like the way it rolled. It's definitely something that's gonna be in my rotation. Tournament bag for medium to shorter patterns. Be a fun ball for league though, where I can really stay in the track and control my angles and not get into any trouble. The balls that are too sharp like the Bruiser, sometimes a little bit tough when there's a lot of ratio and wet dry on the pattern. Sometimes those smooth, more consistent balls keep me in the pocket and allow me to adjust around that. All right, thank you very much for watching. Please comment below, like, subscribe, let us know what you think about, Brunswick trying to go back to the old school roots with another vintage ball. Personal opinion, I love it. I've never thrown a bad vintage ball. Just keep pumping them out, please. And if you keep liking balls like this, and you wanna get one for yourself and you're in Canada, hit up shop.boofabowling.com, 10% off with, hey Jim, what's the code?
Jungle Barks.
Jungle Barks. Yeah, take that 10% off, drill one of these, have some fun. I'll see you at the next vid. It's a good shot. It's close. Little inside again. That's close. Wide. A little soft. Get up. That's gonna be close. Close. That's close. No. That's close too. Soft. Terrible. Closer. Slow. That's right.